And we're live. What are we burning in a bonfire?
Oh, nothing important whatsoever.
Give me just a second. I need to fix something real quick. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. What the hell? Overlays are playing with me. There we go. Sorry, my image was a bit squished, so just adjusting it a bit to a proper aspect ratio. There we go. That's what I wanted to do before everything went awry. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Shadowrun Up in Smoke, our Shadowrun 6th edition live play game. Set in London 2081 and follow our wonderful crew of people as they just deal with the fact that they are in the sights of, corporate interference and, just the occasional people want to kill them. But for the most part, they've earned it. For good or ill. Now, before we jump into things, quickly go around the room and we can say who they are and who they are playing. Kat.
Hello, I'm Kat, or at Clark of Court. I play Nico, the street shaman, who, as we were just joking about, has a multitude of ghosts and 7 pieces of baggage that she drags around with her, all thanks to our lovely GM, because I hand him drawers full of knives and he uses them on me.
I think the term is "hurt me, daddy," but we'll leave it there.
Yes. I'm here to bring the feels, and I wear waterproof mascara and eyeliner for that very reason.
And a nice, a nice glass of scotch.
Day drinking.
Diane.
Oh, I love these descriptions. Hi, I'm Diane. I play Sphere. This time I remembered the name. See, it's getting there. I'm getting back in the swing of things. Sphere is a rigger who has streamlined their approach a little bit, and I'm gonna say currently is grappling with morality of want to do cool shit, but also why are we even doing this, and are we doing it for the right reasons? And the ping-ponging back and forth is fun to play, and I'm glad people are catching on to the fact that it's a really weird dichotomy.
Morality.
And you recently
got study in cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, and Diane and Sphere recently got called out by perhaps the most innocent member of the entire crew.
Yeah, it's, I make no secret of it. Their morality is fucked up.
We'll continue to explore that. That's always fun to play with. And last but not least, these pair of weirdos.
I'm taking charge. I'm going first this week. You normally go first, right? So I'm Kim. I play KTP, or Kissing the Pixel in chat. And I'm the group's technomancer who normally tries to keep everything under control. But I think we're going to try and be a little bit more relaxed this time. Seeing as this is Grifter's mission, she's going to try and give the reins to Grifter and see what happens.
I'm Pete. I play Grifter, Street Samurai, and I'm hoping that tonight's going to be a bloodbath. Basically, that's where I'm at.
I mean, if there's a chance for you to do your job as the pew pew slinger, that's all fine and good for you, right?
I think so.
Very good, very good. Last time our crew was pretty much still dealing with the aftermath of meeting Malcolm, their benefactor, and essentially more or less derailing the plans of his carer, Lawrence, who much wanted him to survive, while Malcolm himself is happy with the time he has left and is just trying to do a bit of good, or spreading a bit of good before his time is up, which the group discovered may not be that long. Along the way, while dealing with this, the party is looking at some side jobs because funds are scarce, and some members of the group want some things. And the usual way that Shadowruns pay with things is either cold hard new yen or can you do me a little favor that maybe involve illegal activities? And of course, they acquiesce to the illegal activities. On Nika's end, it's a bit of B&E with a bit of exorcism involved. Get into a house, break into it, go in, and exorcise it. You know, who you going to call. On Grifter's side, he has his sights set on a remote control mechanical arm on which to mount, essentially build a turret. He's been given a price for it, a fairly hefty price tag, but also mentioned, hey, you could do a little gig and it would cover it. And the gig itself is protecting an independent arms designer heading to a meeting with leadership of the country and military and protect them from, things that may come their way. It's a very dangerous job. The subject in question is known as Jericho Dolce Ricotta. The name may or may not be real or not. They don't know. But they've been given slight details of where that meeting will take place and what the responsibilities will be. So we're going to jump in pretty much the day after, as you're all preparing for this run that you need to do. For the first time in your running careers, this is the first protection job that you've taken. For the most part, you've been rescuing or breaking and entering or straight up killing people who get in the way of you stealing things. So how is the group dealing with things right now as they prepare for this job?
Well, have we got to meet somewhere to be informed of who, where, and when?
Yes, you've been given a rendezvous point with the client in about a day.
Right. Okay.
The client will finalize the details of the information you need for the job and take you to where you actually need to go and, set up shop basically.
Okay, so we got a day to get our shit together.
Pretty much.
I mean, that's standard fare, isn't it?
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess Grifter would just be prepping guns, right? I mean, no, it's protection job, isn't it?
True. That is what Grifter is doing, just standing in their gun range, just preparing weapons, checking ammo
down,
counts, everything.
Putting them back together, making sure everything's okay, that type of stuff.
Hey, Sphere. It's a new day, so you may get a new role.
Yeah. Let's try this again and hope it does better than last time.
I mean, you did say this time you would spend the edge. So I'm wondering, will you spend the edge? Or given that you have an upcoming mission, dampens that thing?
Let's just say I may have been impulsive in my expressing my desires last time. So I'm just going to roll and... can I use an action to regret my life choices?
That's a free action.
Sweet. I'll be doing that for the next few minutes as I have just rolled. It's another 3. So I keep rolling 3 out of 10 on this.
How much does that bring us up now? What? Like 15?
It's up to 15, I think. Yeah.
So still 10 to go before your new wheelchair is complete with all the best bells and whistles. And you want it to be effective. On this
is 4. I have more 2s than I do remaining dice, and basically out of 10 dice.
I
It's
will
6
simply
twos.
ask: does anyone watching want to spend some channel points and perhaps give a boost to our dear friend here?
I'm not counted in that, right?
No,
Wait,
players are not counted on it.
I need to make my alt account. I need to make my Schmalrog 1911. You'll never see through it.
No, not at all. It's very
so
subtle.
many channel points.
Fair amount.
Nah, whatever. I'll take what I got. I probably should have spent the edge, but
I mean, it would have been hilarious if you had spent all the edge and still rolled 3.
knowing my luck, that's probably what
I've
happened.
done it.
But yeah,
I have done it.
I remember you having one of those rolls where I think you had like 16 dice and you rolled only 2 successes.
Yeah,
or
pretty
something.
much.
I can't remember which one exactly that was, but I know you had that.
Yeah,
It
the
was
odds were in my favor. The probabilities did not agree.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I would say that Sphere's Mind is not so much on the progress of the future wheelchair and more definitely focused on the immediate future, how to deal with that, how to plan around that, making sure the drones are actually ready, making sure that everything is set up. I think probably also taking a moment to talk to Grifter about, depending on how we're doing this.
Just so you know, you to find control your drones, as you know, you would likely jump into VR and control them directly with your mental attributes. Piloting them directly. With just your interface, like without the rigor thing, I know we've kind of jumped a bit on those specific rules. Given that this will not be a passive thing, but an active situation where fine-tune control may be required at some point, what we'll do is your drones can be made to perform let's call it a repetitive task on their own with just your interface. You can just give a simple command of, for example, your big hulking melee droid can be put like on a door and say, no one passes through here, or if they're not on the friend or foe list, or basically protect this place, but they won't pursue. They won't. Their AI will be limited, so to speak. Same with your more spycraft kind of drones. Will be stand here, record, and send telemetry basically. While if you want to fine tune, well, then you got to jump into them and control them.
The only thing I will point out is my big hulking melee drone did get destroyed and has not been replaced.
I mean, there's time.
Yeah.
There may not be funds, but there's time.
There's time. There are no funds.
Yeah.
This is the entire problem. The only drone that I've managed to recover and repair was the optic, the eye in the sky. The eye in the sky. That one was the one that keeps getting hurt, and I just keep having to go, no, my little baby, let me fix your broken wings. But yeah, that one's currently, for the record, being mounted with a sniper. That's the one I'm going to try to have fine control over. It is going to be programmed with just a general circle and area, and will just be a general lookout, eye in the sky, until such time as is necessary to jump in and take a shot or two.
Okay. What is Nico doing?
So Nico has realized lately, or over the past several months, that she needs to really kind of work on physical skills. She's put a lot of time into her willpower, into her magic, and developing that, strengthening that, and has kind of neglected the body a bit. So she's going to spend some time down in the on the gun range with Grifter, working on her shooting and reaction time, and then she'll probably spend some time in whatever type of home, whatever type of gym setup that they've got. And she's not focusing on strength, she's focusing on conditioning. So I think there's a lot of running in the tunnels with Watson, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what she's
I
focusing on.
mean,
She
if there is one part of this base of yours that you have not built, is the home gym, so to speak.
Yeah, I think we've to probably cobble together something, at least.
Oh yeah, you have enough in terms
of.
of debris, leftover materials, and just stuff laying around in the tunnels to create makeshift weights and everything. So
Yeah, so I think she's doing that, but again, a lot of it's conditioning. So it's time spent running in the, she goes for a run in the tunnels with Watson. And that's kind of what she's doing.
Watson does not like the exercise. The whole thing of running after you gets very tired for Watson very quickly.
Well,
afterwards, like Watson just lays and just watches you come and go, like watching a tennis match.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's big. She's got little legs, so I figure a walk for him is a jog for her. So. Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of what that's what she's doing, is working on that stuff.
How is Nico dealing with the current situation of, Lawrence not being, not considering them, their favorite person?
I think that's part of why she's focusing on these other things, is to keep herself out of her head. I mean, she was trying to work on her magic and that kind of stuff. That opens her up to just kind of sitting there and having to think. It's much more of a mental exercise. It's hard to do. She's already suffering from insomnia. It's keeping her up. She doesn't sleep well on the best of days, but last night was not a good night for her. So mechanically, because I gave her the disadvantage of insomnia, I can't use
Worth mentioning because I don't know if I've brought it up enough. You can use karma to buy off those negative. You just need to spend twice the amount of the cost.
I like the insomnia for her. I really do.
I mean, it's a great trade. Just want to put it out there.
Yep. So she's not sleeping well. So I think that's part of why she's focusing on the physical. That day she's trying to.
I'm going to ask one more question regarding this topic to Nico. In her mind, even though she's trying so hard to push the thoughts away, what is Nico's thoughts and feelings on the fact that for the first time since they've met Lawrence, their danger sense went off the scale? The fact that Nico was certain that violence was coming her way from this source.
I think it was one of the few times where normally when she gets her danger sense, it's there's an instant reaction. It's muscle memory to react to that. I think because it was Lawrence and it was coming from Lawrence, it's the first time she's ever questioned it. And that's it's kind of bothersome. She's also, it feels a lot like back when she first found out about Vic's betrayal and what Vic was doing. She's getting that same kind of vibe. It's hard to reconcile that with this new person, with who they are, what they've shown her. And so there's she's grieving the loss of his friendship, of any positive relationship at all. She's grieving for what happened between him and Malcolm and her part in that, all of it. And again, and trying to ignore the fact that if Lawrence comes for her soonish, it may not end well for her, because she could very well hesitate.
Fair enough. Another question. This is from me, the GM, asking you: is Nico at any point soon considering another initiation?
I think she's focusing on learning to enchant, and then we'll be doing doing initiation after that. Initiation has costs, and she's already in for the enchanting lessons. So I think it's going to come in after that. You know, she got some new spells she wants to learn. She does want to kind of grow, but enchanting's first.
Well, KGP, what is our favorite technomancer doing?
Probably not very much, because if we don't know where we're protecting this person, and the matrix check that we did last time kind of only revealed that there was a meeting going on somewhere, there's not really much she can do to prep, but I think she's kind of enjoying it for a change, because she's normally the one that sort of pushes for all the, like, you know, all the detail up front. So in some ways it's kind of nice for her to sort of just let go for a bit. So I think she's just hanging out, like, you know, in between the others, doing what they're doing, if they're around, having a chat with them, hanging out with Kara, just taking it easy.
As you're hanging out with him, you notice that for at least today, at least since the day before, when the whole big blowout with Lawrence happened, Kara is a bit distant. You can make an intuition and perception check if you like.
Okay.
Well,
Oh,
The day before was the first time all of you, including Karis, had seen him go to that degree of rage. So he's been, you can tell from just looking at him that he's grappling with that. So the fact that even as much as you know Karis, you know that he doesn't really like hurting anyone. The last time you saw him fight, he was fighting robots, and he still felt bad about it. And the fact that he was fairly, you know, in his mind, it was fairly certain that he would have taken Lawrence out without a second thought. You can see the conflict in his eyes.
sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze there. Well, she'll probably grab a couple of coffees, find Karis, hand one over to him, and
Wait, can someone roll me a D6? Just roll me a die.
I got it. 2.
Yeah, that's how many bags of real coffee you have left. This stash will not last forever. Sorry. Coffee is that's at this point a delicacy. Real coffee.
I think we need to make that part of a payment on a job at some point.
Maybe. So you grab the coffee and head off
Weak
over to
coffee.
Karis. Sorry?
yeah, she'll hand one over to him, and like he obviously has the software that she made him, but it's still a thing where she signs to him. So she's gonna sign saying, "What are you worried about?"
He for a moment almost like has like his eyes glazed over, almost like he's not paying that much attention, but then kind of snaps out of it, grabs the cup and takes a sip and just stares for a moment, just this 1,000-yard stare into nothingness. and just eventually signs, I was ready to kill him. If Nico was hurt, I would have killed him.
Okay.
And then just you know, you see him like trying to sign, but almost like he's struggling to find the words, and eventually just gives up on it.
So she's gonna sign back and say, "You were protecting your family."
He kind of moves his head a bit and just in the end he does sign, and with it says, I don't like I always thought I was different from the others like me, the other ones that were made, because I wasn't made to kill things or kill people. Turns out I'm not that different after all.
But what makes you think you aren't different? You're here with us now.
Yes, there were many ways to handle that. There were, you know, dozen possible ways I could have helped, but first instinct was just to get rid of him.
Okay. So and KTP signs back and she says, everything that happened that day happened so fast that none of us had time to think about what was going on. Like you just reacted, and your reaction was to protect your family. That doesn't make you the same as anyone else, because you are Karis and you're here with us.
Make a charisma and influence check. See how well your words cut through that haze that he's in. I'm going to give you an edge.
To say, I'll donate edge if you want some.
Hold on 1 second. Let's go do a quick check.
I have an edge or two as well if you need it.
I'm just thinking because obviously we've got something coming up too. So we need to be quite careful.
You have a free edge from me.
Yeah.
For a reroll if you want to use it.
Oh, right. Okay,
There's also a +3 dice boost available. Thank you, Kalis.
But do we want to save that for later or use it now?
How important is this to you with Karis?
Depends if Karis is coming out on the VP mission with us, right?
Yeah, he's a full part of our team now.
I know if I ask Pete, he's just gonna be like, whatever, to die. What do you think? Because you all right.
Ask me.
Pete, what do you think?
Yeah, whatever.
So die. Over to the more sensible person in the team. Die, what do you think?
It is hard to say.
No, you want to say whatever.
I don't. I'm sorry, Pete. I normally support you in many things, but I think this is one of those things that we do, in fact, want to break through somebody's shell of self-doubt. Terrible
Okay.
expression, perhaps, but you get what I mean. We need to get through there.
All right.
I was gonna ask if this is a conversation happening publicly enough that Sphere might be able to.
It would be happening publicly, but it likely would be. He wouldn't be like on the ground floor where the common areas are. You know, he likes to kind of take over the upper floor. It's kind of more his own safe space.
Yeah. I think as a general thing, yeah, no, I honestly, even if they saw this happening, Sphere wouldn't want to interfere in this. This is one of those things where like they're worried that barging in is just going to be ridiculous. So instead, I'm going to give you an edge.
Right. So, what if keep the edge? I'll use the dice boost and use an edge of my own plus Kevin's edge. Is everyone happy with that?
Yep.
I'm just mindful that this is Grifter's
Mhm.
mission. There's going to be guns. We might need that
Yes.
edge.
Hey.
Who needs it? Right. Okay, we'll do that. So
Am I doing?
the dice boost
Right.
and turn that to 5,
Mm-hmm.
and then 2 rerolls. Make them good.
They were shite.
Just 2.
Okay.
All that for 2.
Yeah, not great.
No, it's. I mean, you've helped, and 2 is a good result. You do notice that some of your words do reach him. He seems to. You almost see the thing play out in his head as he's just thinking about it, but he still has a few things to sort out, but you're fairly sure you've kind of put him on the right track.
What time of day is it?
I'd say it's still early in the morning.
Okay. All right. So in that case, then she is going to sign to him and say, "Do you need some time alone?"
He nods. Yeah, in science, I need a bit of time.
And she signs again and says, no, she points upwards to the windows and then signs later, like as in a question.
You know, yeah, maybe. Then signs probably.
And then she'll sign back saying, "Come and find me whenever you're ready. Take your time." Kisses him on the cheek and then heads off to let him have some time on his own.
Is there anything else KTP wishes to do? Anyone you want to talk to? Any bars? Anything?
Well, I guess you'd probably check in with Pixelsworth just to make sure like Lawrence hasn't appeared anywhere, but considering that he said that he would send an alert to all the team if there was any news, I'm guessing everything's okay for the moment.
Yeah. There haven't been no alerts coming from Pixelsworth, so you can at least rest easy on that note.
Yeah. I think she's just going to enjoy the rest of the day, letting someone else take control. She looks at Grifter.
As for Grifter, one last thing, and then we can see if we move our time forward. Is Grifter looking to make any purchases, anything before the job, anything last minute?
No, funds are an issue, but I still have ammo and stuff like that. So I'm going to say no.
Okay. Then if everyone, if there are any scenes, anything you guys want to run on your own, any conversations you want to have as a group, or just a couple of characters, let me know. Or if you prefer, we can move the clock forward.
Well, KTP would obviously go flying with Karis later, but it
That
doesn't.
would happen late, let's say later in the evening.
Yeah. So
Anything else? Anything you want to have? Any chat you want to have with fellow party members, or are we good so far?
All good, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on.
Then we move our clock forward.
Oh. Actually, one quick. Nah. I was going to say one quick thing as a note. I'm just going to say this. I have no idea if this will actually come into play, but as a quick note, Grifter, Sphere will find you. And just let you know that in case you, they basically give you the control codes and like a very basic control pad for the airborne sniper. Not a full-sized rig or anything, like essentially like a gamepad sort of thing, so that if you need to, and
Power glove.
That sort of thing. Like basically, if Sphere isn't available to take a shot, you can do it. It's definitely not going to be as fine-tuned control as the VR jumping, but a backup is a backup.
And it is appreciated. The trust, see?
With that, then, we move our clock forward past the evening. There's a flight with Karis. It does seem to do him a lot of good. And we come to the next day when it's game time. You're given it an address is forward to you, Grifter. It's of a more or less abandoned building. Somewhere in central London. One of those places that is, currently condemned to become yet another high rise for yet another company. You're given basically a time frame of, get there before noon.
And we all need to go, don't we? It's not just
it is for you and your crew.
Yeah. Well, I guess we get ready and go, right?
Yeah, sounds about right to me.
Not that we've got a car yet, but we'll have to.
All the Shadowrunners with guns pile up into the subway.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely inconspicuous.
Yeah.
Guns
Nico
fall
casts
off.
Nico casts greater invisibility on herself.
Just herself?
Trying to sustain it for everybody would be hard in a crowd, I think. But if you guys want her to carry the weapons,
We could just have a bag with weapons in, and
do we not have any other transport?
I don't think we do we?
No, we don't.
It's
My bike. The 4 of us are not going to fit on my bike.
Yeah, we've got our feet, the bus, the subway.
well, when we get back from this, I'll look into sorting that out. There we go. I could steal us a car.
Well, see, I was thinking, what if we?
That is a possibility.
There is always the option of Sphere does have a couple more disposable sins, or actually has 2 more now. Let's not go overboard with too many. Several have been burned, some have been reacquired.
Are you renting a car?
Yeah, we can just rent a car. Like, how much does it cost to rent just rent like a moving van for a day?
That would be about like 300 Nuyen a day.
I mean, I'll pop in for that.
Yeah, I've got enough for that. Let's do that. It's better than getting the train.
If we all put in 75 Nuyen,
you get a Weehall moving truck and just pile the thing up with furniture with weapons.
Yeah. Well, that seems like a reasonable way to go. You know, I haven't made up ridiculous fake names for the new sins yet. No, you know what? I'm gonna do this.
On Shadowrun.
Yeah, no. This I'm based purely on the fact that I'm a dingus, and I have fun with these sort of things. This current sin is assigned to the name Patrick Ride. Ride spelled with a Y. Yeah, Kat, you know what I just did. I have no regrets. You're welcome. So Patrick Ride has hired a vehicle.
Okay.
300 million, you said? I will take that away from my funds.
Nico will give you 75. to
Yeah, so-
help the fray.
We'll all chip in on that.
Okay.
I mean, your
Defray
funds
the
are,
cost.
are short, not that short.
Yeah.
Yeah, gonna say, give me 60 and we'll be good.
Well, I mean, if we each give him 75, that covers it right there.
Mhm. Yeah, done.
Times 4, 300.
Fair enough then. Okay.
I'm going to ask before you do have some time in the morning, like before you head up, you need to get there early before noon, but early morning there is still some time. So I'm gonna ask, Fear, do you do any work on your wheelchair during that period of time, or just leave
for
that
the
for
next-
another day?
Yeah, no, definitely working more. Like there's really nothing else for Sphere to do.
Make that
It's-
roll for
it's-
me.
There's not really any other activities to be invested in. Okay, that's better.
4.
No, 5 in fact.
Mm.
You jump to 20, just 5 to go, which at the rate we've been going means 3 more sessions.
Yeah, like, you know.
But it is
knowing
coming.
my
It
luck,
is coming
another
together.
week.
The pieces are working, and so far the balance is perfectly fine. And the things that need to swivel, and the things that lock in place. Just now, it's just a little more left in terms of weight distribution and just a final test of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Cool. You pile up on the car and head off to this abandoned building. You see that there are a few cars around it. Your usual nondescript black car or SUV parked nearby, and there seems to be someone very casually, not really as subtle as they wish to be, just standing in front of the door. They're trying to look, again, casual, but by any measure, they look like a goon. You see just a female, very much female presenting guard. Well, not guard, goon, like dressed casually, but there's a look on this woman's face that just says, "Just try me." That's what gives the whole thing away. It's this straight attitude of, you want some trouble? Come get some.
And this is the person that we see standing outside the vehicle.
She's
So
standing,
I think
she's standing like by the door to the building.
Okay.
I love your immediate correction of from guard to goon.
Yeah, it's, I mean, likely a guard, but the attitude is goon.
I think Nico, once they hop out of the van, because Nico's Nico, she's going to go walking over to them and just, hi. So are you the door person? Door person. Are you the door person? We're here for a meeting and, or concierge? Because, sweetie, you need to smile. Normally I don't say things like that to people, but you're giving yourself away and it's not a good look.
She smiles, and you kind of realize why she doesn't smile. There's a whole lot of broken teeth and a whole lot missing.
You have the same dental plan most of us do, don't you?
Pretty much.
It's so a very lovely smile. Thank you.
It's got features, and then she just kind of like clicks something on her jaw, and just serrated teeth, like metal teeth, slide out.
Okay, now Nico is thoroughly entranced, and this person has just become her whole world for the next few minutes. What else? Oh my God, that's so cool. What else?
Alex, I'll have to find out.
And she gives her con number.
Oh,
Make an intuition and perception check. Anyone can make this roll.
I'll have a go too.
Intuition and perception. Okay. That's 4 hits.
the magic 3.
5.
For everyone watching, even to you, Nico, it's obvious your enthusiasm and kind of just straight up demeanor. You've made a new friend, and maybe a date later on.
Oh no! Please don't start dating the goons.
It's been a long, dry spell.
Yeah. And
I
they've already
stand by-
proven their mouth is special. Moving on. But anyway, she looks at the crew and says, the boss is inside. You get a text that says, this is my number. The name is Siobhan.
She sends back a wink emoji as she's walking in through the building.
Don't get any other message. It's business time. Pleasure will come later. Going in, it is very much dilapidated building, just bare pillars. You can see even like the rebar in some of the pillars exposed. It almost seems like this ground floor is in the middle of remodeling. You can see, like buckets of paint, some tools left. Like someone was working here and cleared out for the moment. There is a set of stairs that leads to the upper floors. There is a lift, but it's very much out of order and looks so rickety. In fact, it's open on the ground floor, but it's not like sitting square in the hole. It's kind of tilted. So it's the kind of lift that if it were working, you would think twice about actually going into it. But you go up the second flight of stairs. You actually go for the stairs. You notice there are, in this kind of gloom, there is no, the windows are boarded up. There is no natural light coming in except from the door. But you notice that there are kind of like these LEDs placed on the stairs, almost like movie theater stairs. They kind of help you go up, and you kind of follow them up, and there is just a single lamp in the middle of this grand space. There are doors leading off to what you presume either offices or apartments or something, but there is a central space. There is a table with a briefcase and a spotlight, just a lamp just dangling over. And there's a set of chairs around this table. No one else in the area that you can see.
Okay.
Well, I think Grifter's going to walk forward to try and have a look at the briefcase.
Okay. You look forward. It's a locked briefcase. Typical. You need to
Yeah.
push buttons and open. Very, very old school kind of briefcase. Sturdy metal, though.
Is it locked or is it unlocked?
You click and it opens.
That
Looks-
doesn't seem suspicious at all.
But turn around to the others and just go, guess we open it.
How do you open it?
Nico is going to step back out of the doorway and just to the left where she can peek around before he opens the briefcase.
So do you open the
Drifter opens
briefcase?
it.
Okay. You open it and you suddenly feel almost like a bit of a current. Just it's for a second as you open the briefcase. Inside, there is just like almost like a pager, just a little like small item with a few buttons and a screen, and there is a cred stick set to the side. And you hear a voice coming out of the little box and says, "Darlings, I'll be right with you. Just give me a second. I'm putting my face on."
I like him. She comes back into the room.
Oh,
Thought you was going to blow up, didn't you?
For the record, you check your weapons. None of them work. They've all been disabled. Not completely bricked, but they've all gone into like their safeties have been turned on, and you can't turn them back off.
Grifter.
See, this is why Nico carries a knife and has a bike chain for a belt.
Had to open the briefcase.
You hear a noise coming from the back, and then you just see more of those LEDs, but actually it's actual lights that turn on the ground and turn on on the side and two more, and you realize a runway is being formed leading from a back door towards you, and lights turn on above, forming just a spotlight. And coming into the room, you see a figure with long curly gradient of like bright green to deep blue, very made up face with makeup that kind of gives them like almost like a feline feral look, with very much a dress, kind of like a dress that looks very much like Nico's. This, very tight formed with long billowing sleeves, but wearing theirs is like cyan with silver, and they have this bright, almost like gold, filigree and silver corset. And their dress, it's almost like a tunic, reaches just past the past the waist, and they're just wearing this long flowing, almost like very classic, almost kimono style, pretty much like you would see like a you would see with classic Japanese attire, where it is a set of pants, but they are very wide, very open, like a very wide karate, more or less what you would use in kendo. But again, also like the cyan color bleeds into it, and at the bottom becomes this bright red. And they are wearing over their shoulders, almost languidly hanging on the arms, a cape. And as they begin to walk and you see them moving, the cape is just stark black. But as they move, you see the cape almost become the starry sky, with just hints of like black, purple, and blue, and just these glowing lights. And immediately you know this person is a lot.
Nico's applauding.
She does a little curtsy, a little bow, just hello, darling. Sorry.
Is
So
that your only face?
I have many faces.
Oh,
I have many, but that's not important right now.
Okay.
Sorry, I locked your weapons. Just a little message. Don't worry. I can turn them back on. I can turn many things on, but that again isn't something for another moment. I am Jericho Dolce-Ricota, engineer extraordinaire, and I think you are the ones who are going to be protecting me from any ne'er-do-wells who wants to do away with me.
Out of
Am I correct?
character, out of character, out of game. Their pronouns.
They have not told you.
Okay. So, what do you want us to call you?
Anything
Jericho, Boss, Delarico.
anything you like. You can call me
Gorgeous.
Muffin if you like, if it makes you happy.
All right, Pussycat.
I love that.
I want to say
I
Sphere
have-
is absolutely standing there, essentially like deer in headlights. Has no idea how to deal with anyone who's like this.
I have no use for pronouns, so you can use whatever you like. I don't care. I am myself. I am myself all the time. So, I have to do a presentation where I'm going to be presenting some wonderful piece of tech, and frankly, it's glorious. But there are people who may disagree with me taking over the market, and showing them that their ways are antiquated and deserving to go to the scrap heap. And so I kind of need you to keep an eye on me. That cred stick, by the way, has 35,000 new yen as an initial payment. I don't know what arrangement you made. Whatever arrangement you made, I will pay you on top if my sweet little ass comes out unscathed. I mean, anything that happens to my ass when we're playing, that's something different, but it's business and it needs to come out unscathed.
Right.
Deal.
Wow, okay, I'm gonna need like 5 minutes to process everything here.
Dika's kind of enjoying watching
I
Spirit
have that
screen.
effect. I have that effect on people.
KTV is slowly stepping back, so she's behind the group because she knows that someone like this is going to bring a lot of attention, and she's got the social stress thing, so she's already kind of going, "Oh no! I don't need to be a part of this. No!" She's kind of not walking out the room, but just backing off a little bit and having the group around her for protection.
Oh,
She takes a look at all of you and first approaches Grifter. You're the guns boy, right?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Can I take a look at those arms?
Holds arms out.
Just give me a second. And puts a hand in the corset. They're not what you would call voluptuous, just small frame, petite. No, they're fairly tall, but not really what you would, not. They don't have big boobs. Everything is very well let's call it small, but well contained in that corset. She puts a hand in and pulls out a small remote, just passes it over the arms, grabs the arm like under your elbow, clicks, and your arm falls off. He goes, "A moment, I need to take a look." And takes it away, and literally takes your right arm away, and starts looking. I don't want to offend you, but this is some cheap shit. I don't do cheap shit. So I have a proposal for you.
This is at KTP that just quietly behind everyone is just going to whisper, "I hope they know where their arm's been." And carry on.
I have a proposal for you if you like. We can make it part of the job or a secondary contract. I don't care. But again, I don't do cheap shit, and this is very cheap shit. This in my presence, this is a fucking paperweight. I'm not having it. So you either accept my deal or you can go the door. I don't do cheap.
Okay. Grifter knows why he's here.
Wonderful. She presses another button, and your other arm falls off. I'll be right back. And she literally unceremoniously drops your arm on the ground and walks well back that runway to the back room. And you hear some rustling and boxes being moving. And she comes back out with a briefcase, plops it on top next to the other, opens it, and inside another new second pair of cyber arms. These are gleaming chrome, black steel, top of the fucking line.
Nice.
The Grifter, what you're looking at are alpha grade cyber arms.
Well, I would say I'll take them. I can't take them because I have no arms.
He says, this is the first time we're meeting, so I know how this is gonna sound, and I hope you're game, but I need you to bend over.
Bend over?
Yes. You're kind of tall, and I need to attach to these arms.
Okay. Sort of crouches down.
Wonderful. From your point of view, you can't see it because you're kind of looking at the arms. The rest of you are well aware. She's checking that ass out. And she takes some measurements and has like a little console on her hand, like a tablet, just runs some things. Perfect. And locks that arm in, locks both arms in. For a moment, there's a moment of pain as the nerves are connecting. And you're like in your implant, the implants you have to be able to control your cyber limbs. You kind of register them, and these arms are weird. Like right now, you have the strength and that you have with the arms you had before, but you are certain that these arms can give you greater strength. But that feature, basically, they have increased attributes, but in this moment, they seem to be locked down.
Whereas I kind of just sort of.
There's something else. Your implants have, because they are nerve connected, but it is metal. You don't have really any tactile feel with your old arms. You've just learned, to gauge weight based on sensors and, identify just by memory if a surface is soft, hard, and, how to apply strength. You have tactile feeling with this arm.
So can I feel like hot and cold as well? Or?
You can feel, you touch the fingertips and you can feel that with these arms.
I guess.
Oh, you can see immediately. There's almost like a little flag that you can, like a switch you can flip that turns off the sensation. But if you had ever needed that tactile feedback that people have that allow them to do minute, precise things that depend on feeling, you can do it with these arms. Not only that, but you see like the options kind of downloading into your mind, and you click another one, and the arms, like the plates on it, kind of like rearrange and essentially mimic your skin, and they look organic. But it's essentially an illusion. But they look real, like real arms. If you ever need them to pass as quote unquote normal.
So I suppose the Grifters had these arms for a long while, right? So
they've been your arms forever.
Yeah. So like the touch sensation thing is kind of blowing my noodle at the moment. So I guess I'm just feeling like the cloth on her top, just kind of rubbing it between my fingers. Like, oh my God.
You all see that Grifter's checked out. He's just rubbing like a bit of cloth and just flabbergasted for some reason.
I don't think Nico ever realized or knew that Grifter didn't have tactile sensation. So it's clicking for her at this point.
The one, it's something that I don't think anyone has seen in Grifter ever beyond, having a new gun. But this is wonder, just straight up wonder. And they're like, this is new. This is straight up new.
This isn't excitement for a new shiny toy. This is
literally a whole new world, basically.
Yeah.
Once it
I want to say,
clicked
like,
Go ahead.
can Sphere being relatively up to date on like the world of technical things, could I make a roll to just kind of guesstimate what it would normally cost to actually just buy these things?
Sure. I can let's make it a logic, and let's actually make it a logic and willpower roll.
Okay. That's
Sorry, logic and intuition. Let's make it easier.
same thing.
Oh.
That my luck is back to normal. 2 out of 8.
Okay, let me just find you the cost of an alpha grade arm, and note, and I straight up tell you this would be more expensive because there like some form of experimental tech in it.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go cyber limb.
I am deliberately not pulling up the book right now because I just want to wait and hear.
Give me a sec just to look for something. Cyber limbs. Arm replacement. Obvious cost. This would be synthetic cost. Actually, kind of middling both. So you're looking at the very least per arm around 25K.
Yep, that's about as expected. That's roughly the same price as my links. So
in the briefcase, in this briefcase with the arms, you see a couple of things, Grifter, that you recognize as clips, like ammo clips.
All right, so I've started to just come back round, and I glance down at the briefcase, and I look up at Jericho, try and catch their eye, and then look back down at the clips, kind of like, and what are these?
Look at your elbow.
oh no.
You look at the elbow, you find almost like a very subtle like place where you can like push a button. And you push the button and a place like over here on your forearm slides open, and you realize you can put one of the clips in there.
Oh dear God.
Oh, tell me you're serious.
As I said, I don't do cheap.
So with this clip in, does it sort of stick out like the magazine of a gun, or does it?
No, you'll have to figure that one out. Just put the clip in.
So Grifter picks up clip, cracks it into the hole.
Again, you get that feedback from it of like the options available. Same thing. It's very interesting. There's something like with your eyes that you can change the color at whim. You have that interface built in, and you get the option of arm cannon.
I was gonna say, please tell me you did not give Pete finger guns.
Arm cannon.
The upper part of your forearm lifts, and two barrels protrude.
I am Iron Man.
This is how it works. These things are 5 physical damage, but they only work in point blank and close range.
Right. Okay.
Basically,
Right.
a very powerful shotgun.
When Nico was watching Grifter kind of blank out, and it clicked for her. I think she went over.
Yeah.
She walked over to him and she took his hand in hers. I said, "Are you okay?"
As you grabbed his hand, he sort of just paused. What the fuck? Because he's not used to that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's- your hands are cold.
By the way, Pete and Kim, your mics have suddenly gone really loud for a moment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe it's proximity with the mic.
Okay. Back him off a little bit. Sorry.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So your hands, they're cold.
Oh, I'm sorry. And she'll pop flame off of her fingers for a moment and then blow them out. We go, that should be better.
So it's just
It
kind
is
of
pleasantly warm.
touching your hand.
Not only that, you realize it's pleasant,
Yeah.
which is a whole different degree. By the way, the bonuses on the attack bonus on point blank is 12 on closest 10.
12 and 10. Right.
And it just takes almost like a thought, and it goes back into its casing.
Okay, so for now, I'll put the guns away.
I have other goodies in the other arm, but kind of keep those locked in for now. So here's the deal. I'm going to give you those arms, and you're going to send all telemetry of them. You can download it. I don't care. I don't need to know where you've been, but I want all that telemetry sent to me on a monthly basis for at least a year. These are my babies.
You immediately get like a message from Sphere, who is just frantically typing away, going, "Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it."
Do you need location telemetry as well?
No, I don't care. I don't care where you've been, and besides your line of business, I'm sure you don't want to leave evidence of where you've been.
Yeah, thank you. And Nico is going to, by the way, that was said in their voice. Because Nico's using vocal controls, she's listened to them talk long enough that she now has their voice.
She notices it, approaches you, kind of puts her like her face, and she goes, me, and then looks.
Me.
I love that echo. Anywho, that's that
Just
done.
a me.
That's that done. So no more cheap shit. You can leave that there. It's where it belongs. It's just your arms just flopped on the floor. These are much better. As you provide telemetry, I will be unlocking some of the features. Just to, let's say, keep you honest.
Sphere's gonna be tiptoeing over to where the old arms are, just look down at them, looks up, goes, "Hey, so I got a workshop and I need parts. Do you mind?"
I don't care.
I'm talking to you. Sorry, Grifter, but like that's not your shit anymore.
Jericho says I have no say over trash found on my floor.
Consider me a cleaner or a recycler or whatever the hell you want. I need to see your workshop one day because I am intrigued.
She approaches you and puts both hands on like the armrest of your chair and leans in very close. Says, "You'd like that, wouldn't you?"
You have no idea.
I think we can make that happen, but let's get through the current business and then we'll see. As I said,
enough.
business first. We can Anything else we can talk later?
Sure thing. As they leave, Sphere's just going to tap a couple controls on that electrochrome coat they're always wearing, shifts to match the color of Jericho's hair.
I like that. You're earning very good brownie points.
For what it's worth, Sphere is not catching any innuendo whatsoever.
I know.
To them, it's just like, oh,
this
yeah,
is going over Sphere's
so many
head.
tools.
This is going over Sphere's head. The rest of you are catching this easily. Very well.
Nico's wishing for
So
popcorn.
I'm gonna level with you. Again, I don't care what arrangements you have. That there's 35k on in advance. Once we're done, another 35k. And if you can, leave someone alive for me, that'll be another 20k on top.
How certain are you of there being an attempt?
Because there's been an attempt in every meeting I've had in the continent.
How did those attempts happen? I mean, Nico is all business now all of a sudden. How did those attempts happen?
Either they try to poison my food, blow up my car, bribe my security, which again I don't do cheap, so they couldn't
Siobhan is lovely.
They couldn't outpay me. I'm good at what they do, or just straight up demolish the entire building I was in with me inside and all the dignitaries.
Was that the most recent attempt?
The most recent attempt, they diverted some drones and want them to crash into my person at high speeds.
That's not nice. All right.
No.
If there's drones, don't worry about it. I got you covered.
Oh, don't worry.
How
My
visible do you want us?
what I'm presenting to the government takes care of all that nonsense.
How visible do you want us?
By the way, and she looks at you, says, I'm going to guess you're the drone person.
What gave it away?
No, just have an eye for these things. I'm gonna need the codes, the the RFID tags and IFF codes for your things, so I can put it on my exception list.
I was about to ask, given what you said, whether that would be a problem, but yeah, we'll work something out. You're not getting the control codes. Sorry.
I don't care about the control codes. I just need to be able to identify them and exclude them from any action.
You'll have it later today.
Very good. Best I have it before I start talking in my presentation. Once that happens, it's too late.
Yeah. Quick question regarding all that. This demonstration, is this going to be closed space, open air? What do I need to be
It's a
prepared?
theater. There's about, fuck it. Press a couple of buttons and all your comms get the blueprints for the place. It's an old style theater. There's 3 floors. There's the actual, stage and the seats, and multiple windows, multiple floors. There's at least 4 entrances and exits. There will already be some protection in place, but they're mostly there for the military and dignitaries. I want someone covering my sweet ass.
Okay. That actually simplifies things. I'll need access beforehand. I need to make a mount.
Very well. That can be arranged.
Sweet. Sphere is immediately thinking, okay, flying drone isn't going to cut it inside of a building, so they're going to mount the sniper on the stage behind where the presentation is happening to have a view covering any potential shooters.
Good. Just so we can, I can better direct you. I mean, you know what you're doing, but can you all mention? I know Shooty Boy and Droney person. What do you two do aside from mimicking my lovely voice?
I think KTP just looks at Nico kind of scared.
Nico looks at her, pops the flame on the fingertips again, and then it goes invisible. And in their voice says, I'm the one that's going to be on your sweet ass.
You know, I have some ideas for play with that. We can discuss them later.
I'm already obligated for seeing Siobhan, so conflict.
Never mind. Never mind. I'm not going to be poaching my girls. Well, girls. Anyway, and you, my dear, and kind of leans very close to you.
I think like KTV kind of just grabs Nico's hand, like she doesn't know what to do because I think.
By the way, behind you, like standing in the back of this room, is Karas. He has not come forward. He's staying in the back, and the usual Karasing of, "Oh fuck, did I get myself into?"
Yeah, I think KTP is just kind of internally freaking out over the fact that this is someone who obviously commands a lot of attention. And I'm assuming that by looking at the plans that were given to us, there's quite a lot of people that can fit into that space.
Very much.
So she's just in that kind of introvert, oh my God, it's basically a party and she doesn't do parties. So she doesn't know what to say right now. She's freaking out.
She looks at you and says, "Did I break her?"
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
This
that
is our
happens.
technomancer. They're our
Ooh.
behind the scenes person, and they will be in the matrix and controlling all of the cameras and that kind of thing, and making sure that there's no. If there's
Oh, that is delightful. Good thing.
and,
A good
and
thing.
then she points to Karis and she goes, air support and muscle. He doesn't talk.
You
and he's
see,
off
you
limits.
see her move past you and go straight for Karis.
And Nico goes, and he's off limits.
Maybe for play, for business, he's very much in limits.
Yes, he is.
She approaches Karis, and you see her moving. She now has her back to you, so you don't see what she's doing, but you see Karis signing back. And Karis basically just, what you can see from the reply is what it just says what they said. She turns to you and this look like, you know, she knows something's up. Like he is being very coy about what he does or doesn't do. Just, I know I shouldn't, but a part of me is dying to see all that. But anywho, let's go. Okay, Technomancer, wonderful. Have you had experience in live combat, particularly in disrupting weaponry? I think the term is bricking it. Good, because you know, security is fine. Well, you can check all the cameras you want, but if the shit hits the fan and my ass needs protecting, I am expecting you to be bricking things all around me so guns don't fire. Yeah, you get my meaning?
KTP just doesn't speak and just nods.
Delightful. Mwah, wonderful. So you are free to stay with me. The place doesn't look like much, but all the rooms have been fully remodeled. What the fuck? I can English. I promise I can English. They've been fully remodeled. The place has state-of-the-art security, and I have installed more weapons in these walls than anyone should ever in a building. So we should be fine here until tomorrow for the meeting. And if that's all, I will retire to my personal spa. Eduardo,
quick
Francisco,
question.
it's
I'm sorry. Quick question,
Yes.
Jericho. You said that they've come after you before by essentially bombing the building that you were in.
yes.
How is this building set up to handle that?
Oh, I've been personally setting this place up. And I've taken every precaution so no one knows I'm here, and we've had control over the perimeter entirely. I have a couple of friends that I've asked for a little favor, cost me a penny, but
And
let's
these are
just
people
say
that you
let's just say my building has some gargoyles,
and these are people you trust.
very much. They
All
may
right.
be on the shady side of things, but they are trustworthy, and at least for the protection of this building, it is guaranteed. Problem is, once I leave here, that's not their business, and it would cost me far more than I am willing to pay for that.
One more question.
Yes.
Do you have real coffee in the kitchen?
I certainly.
Do you have a line on where to get more? Is the big question.
I could be persuaded to provide that information. But again, business first. We'll talk about that.
No, the coffee's business.
No, it's not. It's pleasure, and we'll discuss that once the business is done. And as I was saying, Eduardo, Francisco, I need me time, and she walks back to the room she came through it, and the door closes.
Sphere's entire head right now is just a bunch of question marks for like, what the fuck did what just happened?
I think
the way,
this is how the party is left. Like,
I mean, we've broken KTP. Karis is probably frightened. Sphere is confused. Nico needs to be held back.
that's a fair assessment.
I mean, Grifter just got new toys.
He did just get new toys. Yes, he did.
I think this moment in time is the best place to take our break. So we're back in 10 minutes with the rest of our story, and we'll see where things go from here. I'm sure that everything will be fine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, of course.
And we're back. Thank you all for waiting. So you have been left to your own devices after Jericho makes her exit.
Nico's going to go run a check on everybody.
Yeah, I mean, Grifter and KTP might be blue screening still.
I think Grifter's coming round now. It just took a moment, you know.
I think
Sphere
KTP is still freaking out because she knows that there's going to be a job with lots of people coming.
You can just sit behind the scenes. You can sit in the van outside the building.
That's
And
probably the
monitor
best
everything.
place for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either that or like random audience member.
No, the people are the problem.
Yeah, but
I've got the social stress quality, so I can't. It's being around people that like so many people that you can't deal with.
We can just put you in a van.
that seems so disrespectful when you say it like that. We'll see about that. But also, okay, so regarding positioning, basically, the moment as you're checking up on everyone, Sphere is already sketching out how to viably have like a mount that can be remote controlled. God, possibly an obscure reference, but if you've ever seen the not entirely great Bruce Willis movie based on The Day of the Jackal, that sort of turret mount with remote controls, but more refined and a little more, sleek and everything. But that sort of situation is what they're going for.
Nico puts a hand on Sphere's shoulder and goes, bullets, not missiles.
Don't worry, I won't bring down the building or anything. It's just aerial cover isn't going to cut it. So we need to be covering at least 3 angles here from behind our speaker side, possibly also checking to make sure for covering any targets that might be rushing onto the stage.
Are you building this arm thing?
If necessary, well, definitely it's necessary.
That's very similar a thing to what Grifter was going to purchase.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's just going to be stationary. Like, basically, it's going to be a disposable thing. This is partly why Sphere wanted to keep the arms, because the arms have a lot of articulated joints and everything that would make this a lot faster to do. We're using previously assembled pieces. So with
I will have
Grifter's
you
permission,
make a logic and engineering check with your, you have your tools, so to turn these arms into something you can use.
Yeah, Sphere is going to very literally roll up to Grifter, just hold out the old arms and go, I have your permission to just go to town on these?
Well, it kind of depends. I mean, if everybody's happy with me sending this data sort of weekly to this character.
I mean, you're not broadcasting location or anything other than like motion and gun telemetry, I guess, right?
I guess
Can we,
so.
can
But
we
God knows
KTP,
what. I mean, after
can
the
you have a
stuff
look
in
at
his
that?
arms is locked away. I don't actually know what's in them at the moment.
I mean, can we get KTP to look at, what sort of information is being gathered and sent?
Maybe.
And get into it.
Oh, I assume we have some sort of access. Just
I don't think that's going to be a good idea.
Yeah, probably not right now, especially.
not right
Yeah,
now, but
I mean, you've got you can like see the menu thingy, right? Because you've talked
Yeah.
about that before, where you kind of
You can easily check the logs on your arms and everything. The information that they're tracking is motion response, neural response time, voltage, everything, just performance indicators.
Oh, I mean, in that case, then there's no harm, no foul. So yeah, you can.
so you're basically broadcasting KPI.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay. Does anyone mind if I use the +1 dice boost on this roll?
No, go for it.
It's a +1 and a
Cool.
+3.
No, the plus. Didn't we use the
There's
+3?
both. There's both.
Okay. I thought for sure we'd use the +3. Either way, I mean,
Megan felt guilty for popping up late, and so gave you a +3.
well, I mean, I've got 6 hits at the moment. If we want 7,
I was going to say
can
the
use
difficulty for
+3.
this was 5, so you're fine.
There we go.
You have literally created a makeshift mount out of the arms, so literally you can place them, and the arms will just open the hand and grab the drone in place.
I
and you
was
can remotely
hoping to-
leave it.
I was hoping to use the hand as an actual trigger control.
Oh, I mean, you have 2 arms. One as the thing that keeps gives it hanging on, and a second one that comes underneath for the gun.
Yeah, I assume they have like gyros and all built in.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
they
okay.
have to function.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, basically about that, put it on a gimbal, and then I can't decide if I want to have it hanging from above or sitting below, but we'll decide that
On
in
site.
time. I'm going to make it a magnetic attachment so it can be either one. I will spend a little bit of resources. I don't know how well you want me to calculate that with money, but I want to spend a bit of resource to make it essentially to have it be a little more.
I think the problem
What's
is
the
you
word?
don't have time.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably going to take.
Because that would
enough time to just
require
build
a
this.
shopping trip to get the things you need to actually spend resources on the thing. You're working
was
with
gonna-
what you have, and that is just taking the time you have.
Okay, yeah, okay. Then I'll just build that mount, drop a magnetic clamp on it, and then it can basically be plopped on the ground or on the ceiling or somewhere on the side. We'll see what's best.
Karis like pops into one of the rooms, looks inside, then looks into the other, kind of does a sweep of the different rooms that are available, and at the end just gives you all a thumbs up and goes into one.
Nico will follow him in and just if you feel uncomfortable. Okay.
He just shakes his head and gives an expression like, not at all.
Okay.
When you step inside, you're like standing in what will be a suite. There's a big bed, there's amenities, a very big bathtub, everything. Like someone really has gone to town on this place. There's a little, like you go into a hotel and there's a little cardboard thing, like a card that tells you the Wi-Fi code and, the phone numbers you can tap. It just says there's a panel on the wall. If you press 1, sets to put the room into lockdown mode. 2, opens up the gun rack.
Grifter presses 2.
There's a bunch of handguns. You have better weaponry than this.
Okay.
But, for this thing, not bad.
Nico's going to wander around and do some astral perception to make sure that they're not being monitored.
Sure, make a
She hasn't seen anything that indicates magic.
KTP is going to follow her around with the bug scanner as well.
I will have you make a intuition electronics roll, and another will be an intuition, and you can choose if you roll magic, you'll be able to see like magical signatures. Astral, if you want to perceive something different.
I think she's probably going to do both. We're going to start with magic, though.
Okay.
So magic plus intuition.
Yes.
Okay.
7 for the bug scanning.
There are surveillance. There is surveillance equipment in place. But you're fairly certain are like they're placed in like places inside the rooms and everything. So you're fairly certain, not so much in the rooms, especially not the bathroom, but in the hallways, you pretty much think that this is like their security. So yeah, you can. I mean, you would need to look at it more on a matrix level and connect to the devices to get more information.
Oh, wow. Guess what are we doing for the rest of the night then?
You can touch any other surveillance, and in fact, you do know that it's sending audio and video data of the hallways and such to a location nearby. Within the same building, but you think a basement, though you didn't see a way into a basement. Nico, how much did you roll?
6 hits.
6 hits. There are some heavy-duty wards around this building. With 6 hits, you recognize the spell signature. This is a spellcaster you've met. This is Fuin.
So yeah, that I think she's looking, and she looks like she's staring off into space, And then she just smiles. And Nico's much more relaxed all of a sudden.
And suddenly the comment, "My building has gargoyles," clicks with you.
Yeah. She wants to go say hi to the gargoyles, but she's not going to.
Yeah, that's
but
that's at least on the magic side.
Yeah. So she's if the magic wards are that good, she's presuming that the astral wards are going to be that good. I'm not going to bother.
Yeah.
If it's Fusion's work, he's not. He won't let something like that slide.
Perfect. That is that's what your rolls give you. You have your mount. Grifter, what is Grifter doing? Healing things up.
There's a part of him that's trying to sort of the software side of things that he sees, the controls for the arms. He's still trying to get his head around that because there's a lot more options and stuff than he has.
You see that there's a lot of things that are just not available.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
you try to almost in your mind just like following the menu with your eyes and just like the overlay you have, just trying to figure out what these arms can do. But much like they said, there are some things that are currently locked down. But there seems to be
it's just a bit overwhelming for him because like previously he pretty much had on or off.
Yeah.
And that now he's got menus and stuff, which is
you actually basically the thing with us that shows like skin at the touch, it's still metal. It just changes to look like skin. It's like a chameleon mode essentially.
So do these arms like have any sort of fingerprints or anything like that would be traceable or anything? So he hasn't.
No, not at all. Not at all. They do just have like the much like with actual fingertips. They seem to be just a whole lot more, or in fact, just a lot of synthetic nerve endings.
Right.
Is what provides that tactile feedback to you.
Yeah. Okay. So apart from that, I guess just picking stuff up.
Odd question. Okay, Sphere is gonna at some point probably pop over to Grifter. Just look at it go.
Grifter is putting one of his hands in water, just in and out, almost like a little bird that goes into the water, but it's him with a hand.
I was imagining sifting through sand or something. Like the ultimate ASMR experience
limited materials.
Yeah. No, goes over and just goes, so gonna sound weird, but do you mind if I just
go on, help yourself.
all right. Sphere is just gonna poke like the fingertips. Does it feel at all like skin, or to the touch does it feel like metal?
It is coarse. Almost like very tiny, like brushes, like bristles. It is not skin. It is a synthetic material that is just made to essentially be artificial nerve endings. And you can only imagine the complexity of the sensor information that is being sent and translated back to biological nerves.
That's, oh boy. Retracts the hand, just goes, holy shit.
I know, right?
You know for certain these arms are not on the market.
Yeah, just like I couldn't even begin to build something like that. At least not.
I mean, you're struggling to build a fucking chair.
Listen, don't remind me. So I mean, okay, if I were properly equipped, if all my dreams came true and I became a billionaire, maybe. But I think you got lucky there, bud.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Everything comes with a price, though, right?
I mean, the price right now is you're a guinea pig. But
I've been a guinea pig before. I'm worried
Exactly.
about what we're about to walk into tomorrow, though.
oh, there's that. And also my biggest concern is, they were talking about unlocking stuff down the line. I really hope there's not some major command codes that we have to worry about here. Like, let's not do that whole rigmarole all over
It's just
again.
emergency explosives to get rid of the evidence. That's all.
That'd be about
And
my
you
luck.
wonder why we worry, Kevin.
I'm just giving options.
Right now, though, they're going to be useful, right? So let's just hope we don't get too many surprises.
Yeah. Speaking of which, are you gonna actually, hang on. We should probably get the others and figure out properly positioning and all that, because I was trying to figure out how to deal with setup, weaponry, all that, but that's a group decision. Oh yeah. Also, pops out for a moment, or pops around the corner, wheels in the weird little turret contraption built out of Grifter's old arms and goes, "What do you think?"
Well, let's hope I don't have to give the arms back.
I mean, I can reverse this eventually.
Okay.
But for now, I mean, is that like an out-of-body experience for you? I hope I'm not.
It's a little bit odd.
Yeah, I imagine it would be.
But yeah, we need to get sorted for tomorrow.
We do, don't we? Oh, God. There's so little time.
Bring in everyone into the room.
If everybody is willing to go.
Mm-hmm.
You gather in one of the rooms. I'll leave this to you.
So I guess we ought to come up with some sort of plan for tomorrow.
I mean, we've already decided KTP isn't going to be indoors, so that's cool.
I kind of assumed I'd be shadowing Jericho.
It makes sense, right?
Here's the thing, though. If you're gonna shadow Jericho, here's the thing: if they decide to lock down weapons, and she kind of flicks her wrist, and she's got a knife in her wrist sheath that pops out. Just they can't lock this down. I can be invisible with her on stage all day.
Yeah, but if Jericho locks down the weapons, I assume that won't apply to ours.
I'm not assuming anything.
I guess you've got a point.
Well, if everybody thinks that's better.
I mean, but you should be, you're the visible muscle power, right?
Right.
Because you look scary. So I can be invisible. Unless you want to be invisible, but then I have to be able to maintain your invisibility while I'm doing everything else.
I'll have to be close. Obviously,
Yeah.
guns.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I can be down in front of the stage or something.
You look like you're the bodyguard.
Yeah.
If you're looking the part, you might as well fulfill the part.
Right, exactly.
Okay. So what you're gonna sort of hang shadower but be invisible, and I'll look like the bodyguard and sort of sit off stage or whatever.
Wherever she wants you to,
Yeah.
however, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we can swap. I can be invisible and hiding anywhere.
That's pretty much about as good a plan as any.
I guess my worry in all this is if anything goes down, we do need to make sure that we are able to react. Like, let's make sure we don't plan this out in every detail. Let's just make sure we put ourselves in positions to act with versatility if need be.
Yeah.
I think
What
that's the
about-
main thing.
What about Karis? Evac and overview, oversight? Backup?
Oh,
I look at KTP.
Like out of character.
Hmm.
In a situation like this, Harris is going to be more likely to protect us than protecting Jericho, right? If anything goes down.
That
Yeah.
tends to be the case, but
Yeah.
depends on what. If you want him to focus on something else, he'll likely do it.
So I don't really know what's best.
It's an old theatre, you said, didn't you, Kev?
Yep.
So there would be like some high seating at the back.
Will there be a space above the boxes for the lights and stuff?
Hmm.
Over the
Could
stage,
Karis
you'd have,
sort of- yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
go up
you'd
high
have,
and
at the very least, you'd have like rafters and everything, I imagine.
yeah. And then that way, versatility again. Either be an attack from above or a rescue mission from above, depending how badly it goes.
Hmm. I mean, Karis being up above seems just the perfect placement. He can operate the lights.
Boom.
Okay. What about KTP?
So it was kind of the group talking. She's not panicking, but the group can see like the nerves starting to set in. And like she just says, I just need to be away from people. I can't be in that group. Like that many people. All them eyes, no.
I get you. I get you. Do you want me to set up viewpoints for you? Just put them in place, put them on screens for you so you can just see everything without having to be there. Alternately, wait, there's got to be cameras. I'm sure Jericho can give us access.
Looking at the blueprints of the theater, are there any like small rooms that are set off?
Yes, there are some rooms backstage. Like
We could
you
just-
know, like locker rooms and green rooms, etc.
Hmm.
We could just find you an office or a room in the building. And just, I mean,
She grabs
essentially-
kind of Nico's hand. She goes, "Yes, just no people, no people." I
Okay.
was looking straight from like at Nico's eyes.
Okay, not a problem. We can do that. And where's the theater in relation to where we are?
About a 10-minute drive.
Maybe we should go do a walk through the theater. Because this thing is happening tomorrow, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need to go take a look at the theater.
Do we
You allowed to
have
leave?
a contact frequency or anything for Jericho?
Can ask for one.
Yeah, we never asked for anything of the sort.
Falls under the purview of that's your job. It's your responsibility to figure that shit out.
Well,
You could,
like KTP tells the group that when she was walking around with Nico, she was scanning for bugs and that there's an awful lot of surveillance here. So, yeah, there's a good chance that we're being listened to right now. So if you want to speak to Jericho, just talk.
Nico just kind of looks around and goes, could somebody let Jericho know that we'd really like to go take a look at the theater this evening? We're going to need transportation. And do they want to give us a way to directly contact them, or does this work for y'all?
You hear a door open and close, and what comes through the door is a 6'2", dark skin, probably mixed heritage man in a full gimp suit, just top to bottom leather with a mask with a zip. Goes hands are handcuffed behind his back.
Unzips. Wow, the uniform code here is insane.
She's a demanding boss. Sorry. Your question. If you, this thing doesn't really have pockets, so next to my left ass cheek, there's the communication codes for a private line with Jericho, and if you want to check out the location, you're more than free to do so.
Could somebody arrange transportation for us?
Yeah, we'll do.
I know you're a little tied up, busy.
Yeah, that's low hanging fruit.
Sphere just kind of leans in and goes, "Is this part of the job? Is this leisure? Like, what's going? You know what? I don't want to know." It just goes back to fiddling with the robot
benefits. I think it goes under benefits.
He turns around and there's like a little, a bit of sticking out of the leather pants.
Yep. Grab that.
And he turns around and goes, can you put the zipper back on?
Yeah. She zips it back up. And then he turns
and just walks back. And you hear almost like with a head knocking at the door. Door opens, closes behind him.
Suddenly, we've walked into like half of a vampire game here.
No kink shame here.
Oh God, no! But that's not what I was expecting. Let's put the
safe word is ricotta. So just for a bit of maintenance here, just clean up. You did use a +1. Okay.
I used a +1, so I think we said we have a +3 left.
You have +3 left. A Siobhan appears at your door later on and says, "Your car is ready."
Let's go take a look at the theater.
Do you all head off?
Yeah, I think Nico also, because Grifter does tactical.
Yeah.
So then Nico's gonna maybe see if we could look through the last few attacks and see if there's a pattern that you can find.
Yeah.
Might give us an idea of what to expect.
Let's have you make a logic and intuition roll. So you see if you can find a pattern based on the description given by Jericho on all the past events.
Logic and intuition.
I'll give you some edge if you want.
Well, no, I've got some, haven't I? How much have I got?
Okay.
I'll just take one and do a re-roll.
Okay.
I didn't get any hits on that.
You think closely, you can't discern any pattern. You just think some people really want to kill this bitch.
How? I'm so sorry. I've infected you with my luck.
It would appear so.
Let's just say that Grifter doesn't have an awful lot of logic or intuition.
They're not my best stats.
And he can't spend edge on them.
Again,
Actually, yes.
that
Kim,
tracks.
your audio is going through the roof.
Really?
Just put a bit of it. Just push the mic back
Sorry.
a bit. Yep, that perfect.
There we go.
Hey, so you head off all into this theater.
Mhm.
It's not. It's still. It's the theater that's seen better days. It's
Perfect.
a lot of stuff are now just moved to different locations, better access. You can still that it's still open, still showing like active plays. Just it shows one. The latest one was like 3 months ago, and there is like the posters for the next one, and it's like 3 months from now. So still things are still happening in this theater, but just few and far in between. You see there is a man in just straight up men in black. You see a big troll and an orc just standing in front of the front door, just arms folded, hands folded in front of their bodies, just looking out.
Nico looks at Siobhan.
Well, it says just go through. Just tell Jericho sends you. That'll be enough.
Nico walks up and goes, Jericho sent us.
They just one of them just puts a hand in the suit, presses a button, and the door slides open. Go on in.
Nico's going to do the same type of magical sensing. She wants to see if Fuyin is also warded this place.
Yeah, I guess you'll do some more bug scanning too.
Sphere is going to be no. You know what? You first.
There you don't find wards here. What you do find, you find spell work. Someone's done a spell work, and looking through I'm assuming you're looking through the entire building. There are some wards have been placed near the front row seats. There are some wards there. And you actually see some tech has been built into the floor right there. One of the there's some little stickers that have been put on the seats, and one of them says Prime Minister. So that part has been warded. But you also, and it's not Fuin, but it's whoever did it is good at what they do. What you do find, on the other hand, is at certain spots, not obvious spots, like coming from backstage, the podium, there are traps. They are essentially like magical mines that a spellcaster can just trigger.
Can I tell what what's good, what they'll set off?
The fire, likely something like a blast or a fireball.
Okay.
So they're there to kill someone.
Yep. Nico is going to see if she can undo these.
Yeah. Just make let's make it a launching and a magic, and let's just make it an intuition and magic roll.
Intuition and magic roll. Okay. Nico is also gonna
either that or the because you have identified the spell, you can just essentially cast the same spell to disrupt it. So if this is a fireball, you can use the same dice pool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a lot. Okay.
Mm.
I think it's, yeah. Um,
ETP, what did you roll on your bug check?
8.
You find a signal. You find some surveillance, and again, it all seems you actually recognize this as government issue. But you find another signal. There is something else here, and you trace it, and there are you find essentially mounted guns and explosives, and they are all the guns seem to be aiming towards the podium and some of the access points.
It's going to be hacking time.
It might be.
Are you going into VR?
Yeah.
You go into VR and you notice that there is something like a separate host piggybacking of the actual host that has been set up in this theater. You recognize that's in all if in there is no way that is not shady.
Okay.
What will you do? Subtle break in or just break through and take shit out?
No, I would do a.
Fuck shit up.
Well, so it's been a while since I've done this. I'm trying to find the right.
Probe
Things.
and then
Yeah. Well, let's
Like entry.
do a probe
okay.
first. That.
I'm going to be rolling for the hosts.
Just 2.
Two as well, but you're the actor, so you succeed. You manage to open a back door. Your or what score raises by 2. Now you need to do the backdoor entry to enter with admin rights.
Hold it. I could have just touched this stuff, couldn't I?
No, because this is not a device. This is
Oh
the
yeah, it's
actual
a host.
host.
Yeah, sorry.
This is the actual host.
Sorry. Okay. Right, so now we need to do the backdoor entry, right?
Yep.
The same again. It's a bit better that time. Was a 6.
Only 2 for me, so what score raises by 2, but you are in this host.
Okay.
And the host looks like the control booth for like a sound engineer. But instead of like speakers, lights, you see guns, mines, poison gas, and you just see full demolition. And there is like someone left a note of wait until Jericho takes the stand. Then it says take out.
But I know that, excuse me, that I can do an erase signature to erase my signature.
Yeah.
But is there something that I can do to check for other signatures?
Yes, this is a matrix perception
Yeah.
check.
Okay.
You don't sense any resonance, so this was not done by a technomancer.
That means it could have been done by a decker.
Yeah, this is likely a decker.
Okay.
What do you want to do in this space?
Sorry, can you remind me what the note said?
Sorry?
Can you remind me what the note said?
The note says just wait for Jericho to take the podium and then
Take them out.
essentially execute.
Okay. So what is it that's going to trigger it? Is it like, does someone need to trigger this? Or is
Yeah,
it
someone will need to trigger it, and you see that there is like a different set of controls for mounted guns, some mines. There's a nerve gas, like ejection point in several places. Make an intuition and logic roll for me, please.
Sorry.
That's enough. With your knowledge of security and your experience so far, you know that whoever did this had to have had information on this, that this was the location, and had to have had that information for a while, because this is not something you put together in one afternoon. Like
Okay,
these are like someone put nerve gas with piping in the floor.
So this is definitely an inside job.
Inside job with the government, the military, or Jericho's people, you don't know.
Any number of actors.
Mm.
Can you actually see where this stuff is in the real world, so we can go and sort of disarm or?
Yeah, you perfectly know where it is.
So if, like, for the guns and stuff, like anything that's got sort of matrix access, is it a case of that in the real world, if I touch those, that I can take them over?
Yes.
But then we've still got stuff that
you know that the guns are very highly mounted. So it's the kind of thing where to get to them, you'll have to do some, let's say, parkour to be
hey, we've got carrots. Can't you just fly me up there?
Sure. If you want evidence, if you want to then try to go through every piece of security to erase Karas from the footage.
Okay, but can we not, since you have full access, can you not just take it over anyway?
Can you not just dismantle it, like take a metaphorical
You
sledgehammer
have
to it?
you have admin access to this thing right now.
Yeah, but I
In the back
mean,
door.
is it something that we want to kind of use to our advantage?
I was going to say, can we take control and make it work for us instead?
In theory, yes. You can override this to be yours instead of, because it's not an actual host that has been set up and registered with the, the Grid Overwatch division. This is like a hack thing that someone set up, piggybacking off the actual host to be able to use the wired connections here to, set up this booth, so to speak. So in theory, you can take control of this. It will require a high difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you can, because right now you're entering this with a hacked ID. So you need to turn this to recognize you as the legitimate user and make the original creator the hacker. Not only that, when they come in, they may just try to do the exact same thing you did and break in. So you will have to be able to monitor and act as a spider, basically. Just be there and play goalie and keep them out.
Then we've got two options. Then we either take control, but then all of my attention on the day is going to be making sure that they
Alternatively,
don't.
you can also just brick all the devices.
Yeah, that's the two
Just
options.
essentially just fire off data spikes against every piece of technology.
Crash it.
Break it.
Yeah, just break the fuck out of it.
Is there a way for us to rig it as like, or to put some kind of trap in it, so when they try and set it off, it backfires on them?
You could set up data bombs. Normally, data bombs don't work for this, but you can definitely set up a data bomb on these things. And when he tries to use them, it'll blow up in his face.
What do you think?
Again, it is a risk because if he manages to see through it, he will have access to the things. Just, it is up to you. It's your call.
I think it sounds like bricking them might be
I think
safest.
The thing between
I wanna
it's
vote
between a
for-
safe option and perhaps risky but possible great rewards option.
I mean, we could always.
Because if you brick them, then the Decker is still active, and they can still support their team in many ways. Like a Decker in the battlefield can straight up send a data spike to Grifter and brick his weapons.
So how about you brick this stuff and then set the bomb?
I don't think it goes both ways.
No, you can, but it'll make him make it easier for the Decker to realize something's wrong.
Hmm.
Unless then you also disguise the status of the weapon as all okay. And again, it's another thing that the Decker will have a chance to see that something is wrong.
The more complex we make it, the higher the chances of discovery. As always.
So you have
Whatever you feel
you have
comfortable with
multiple
holding
options.
on.
Hey, if you want to brick them and disguise their signature so they look okay, and the whoever it is comes in and just wastes their time pushing buttons for a while, that can happen. That you can do that.
This is gonna sound stupid. What if we literally physically just disarm everything but leave the system in place?
Do we have the skill to do
I
that?
would have you make a a logic and electronics roll.
Okay.
Is that
KTP can also make the roll.
okay?
I get 10 dice if I do that, so
Both make the rolls.
No. Sorry, Kevin. What was the roll?
Logic and electronics.
Thanks.
okay, that's actually surprisingly shit. I thought that was a lot better, but there's just a bunch of 4s.
5.
Okay.
So you both know immediately that sure you can dismantle this thing physically, but you would still need to fake its status on this system because that thing is returning telemetry. It's telling the Wi-Fi is online. It's connected to this thing. You need to, whatever you do, if you're gonna be tampering with them, you're going to have to mask that. So it's not immediately apparent we're compromised.
Yeah. I kind of want to say just break it and then keep an eye on the crowd and see who fidgets.
But I don't necessarily have to be in the crowd, though, right?
Not necessarily. They need to be somewhere nearby just because, much like it is with KTP, the longer the distance, the more noise you have to deal with, which is just the wealth of electronics and that are out there. The more space there is between you and whatever you're doing, the more you have to compensate for that. I mean, there is an edge action that you can take that eliminates noise, but that's spending edge on something you really don't need if you can just be close by.
Yeah.
It's up to you, really. What I can tell you is, if this makes your choice easier, is we're not going to have time to run the day of the presentation today.
Maybe it's best we think about this in the downtime and
So whatever you're going to do, whatever edge you're going to spend, will be refreshed for that event, which will be our next game.
So just out of curiosity, what is the time now, and what time is it that the event starts?
The event starts tomorrow at about 6 p.m. It's a night.
Okay.
Let's call it a night gala. Right now, you are looking. You spent some time in the early morning with Jericho, every setup, plus, taking a look around for a few hours, you're around right now like 5, 6 p.m. as well.
So we've got like 24 hours.
24 hours, yeah.
So
Though you
we
don't know at any point if anyone is going to come in
yeah,
and check these things, so you don't have all day.
yeah.
So in any case, needs to be a judgment call and one you need to make soon. So how much, Nico, just to go back to you, how much you roll on your thing?
So Nico just kind of, popped flames on her fingers and kind of called on the Firebringer, said, let's fight fire with fire. And I got 7 hits.
I will roll for the magic caster just to determine how strong this thing was. I will be rolling 13 dice.
Okay. I rolled 16, so.
I'm trying to think of one.
That's 8 hits. You channel the energy, not exactly casting fireball, but more like channel like the same, let's call it spell wavelength, to kind of disrupt this mine. Whoever did this is powerful and good at their job. And good at the job, you do not succeed in breaking it. You can make another attempt, but as always, this will, by the way, you need to roll for the drain for this.
Oh, I do need to roll for drain? Okay.
Because you are using magic.
Okay. I'm going to roll that real quick. Okay. So
would a building like this have, or rather, I assume a building like this would have lockdown systems?
You would need to check the actual main host of this thing or ask whoever set up the main security for it, but likely yes.
Okay. I'm thinking partly because one of the knowledge skills I gave to Sphere that I haven't really made use of yet is security systems knowledge.
I want to make you roll. I mean, you already rolled to know that whoever put this thing in had to have access. That is on knowledge of security systems alone. But yeah, likely there will be. And you're looking around, you see the typical sign of window covers that can fall down and cover things in a situation.
Okay, so there are shutters and barriers that can be. Okay, that's good to know.
Nico, how much you?
I took 3 stun damage.
Okay. Are you going to try again?
It takes me. I've got fast healer, so it's a half hour per block. So I think she's going to kind of wander around it for a little bit, let this headache go away for an hour and a half, and then go back and try it.
Go for it. That's 90 minutes that are already spent.
Yep.
In the meantime, what are you all doing?
Mounting. Given what we now know, the rifle on the arm mount is going to be attached to the rafters up behind the stage.
Okay, I'm going to need an strength athletics for you to clamber up to set that up.
Sphere isn't going to be doing this. That needs to be Grifter.
Just pure arm strength. Just climb up.
I mean, I'm tempted to try it.
It's probably best Grifter goes, isn't it?
Yeah, probably best.
Yeah. So
you'll get directions, but it's basically a case of just attach the magnetic clamp where Sphere tells you.
That'll be strength and athletics.
Good roll. 5.
5. You you get up there. You find there's a ladder. It's kind of old and a bit rickety, but you find a way to climb up to the rafters just fine. And you see all the lights and everything set up there, and you find the place where Sphere indicates that you need to set the thing up. I'm not going to make you roll for setting it up because you have instructions from Sphere, and it's not the first time you've set up like a sniper position.
No.
The only difference is now you're setting up your former arms to do the sniping instead of you.
Which is just a bit weird.
It's surreal,
But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Oh,
I take the +3 dice boost, y'all?
do it.
All right, that's
My
8.
my 8 remain. I'm not going to roll again.
And I match your 8.
And you disrupt this mine, and we're assuming this roll is enough for you to disrupt the entire spell work. Magically, no more danger. At least in terms of spell work.
Okay. And that's when she'll kind of she'll wait until everybody else is finished and then let them know what she had found and what she's done.
Is that the only thing you're going to be looking for?
No. Well, that's all she sensed magically, correct?
Magically, yes.
Okay. Let me roll some drain here real quick first.
Yep.
How much of a headache do I have?
Okay, so I will assume Sphere and Grifter, what you're doing takes about half an hour to 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because it needs to be properly set up.
I was gonna say take 45 minutes, like some time to fix it, and then some time to fine tune it and make sure everything is adjusted and centered properly.
Well,
The
let's
idea is
just
essentially
say the same 90 minutes that Nico is
Yeah.
spending, you have spent as well. KTB, what is our Technomancer going to be doing?
So Nico's got Siobhan's comms number, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do a bit of a matrix check on her to see if there's anything worth finding out, because we know that the guns and the gas were obviously set up by someone with inside information, and Jericho referred to her as one of her girls.
Okay.
Is that-
Did do an astral sensing, got 1 hit.
On hit, there is hanging from the ceiling, almost like a giant drop. There is a massive spirit. Like, if we're gonna give it grades, grade 1, 2, 3, danger is around grade 5. This is grade 10. Though you can sense it's not a malignant spirit. You sense that this is almost like a land god. This is the spirit of this place, the genius loci of this place. This is
Okay.
the theater. All its
Okay.
history concentrated in a spiritual form. It is.
Okay.
You can sense it's a spirit of creativity. Of It is the performance on stage. It is the laughter and applause of the crowd. Everything that makes this theater what it is, what makes the performance arts of this theater what they are, that is the spirit you're seeing. You're fairly certain if someone does something that even chips the paint on this theater, this thing is gonna go ape shit on them.
Okay. She's in off, and then she's gonna go find the rest of the group.
In fact, the spirit doesn't really, like, most spirits don't really have. They have shapes that match like what they are. Like fire spirits, it's just like flames. Water spirits, like water sprouts. This thing looks like the Phantom of the Opera, but almost like the cape is almost like bat-like form, covering their form, and they're hanging upside down.
Yeah.
But they have like even the mask.
She's like,
It's by far
And
the
it-
biggest spirit.
yeah.
Straight up,
She
know,
shuts
the
down.
Firebringer is not a match for this thing.
Yeah, she shuts down astrally. She does not want to get this thing's attention. And then she is going to go find the rest of the group.
You do know, however, with that one it's frankly enough. There are no other spirits
Okay.
because you have an almost instinctive understanding that any spirit would go and says, "Fuck no! Like this is
Yeah.
not my turf. This is
Yep.
this turf. I'm backing out."
Yep. Okay.
Basically, any conjuring in this space has a -4 dice.
Wow.
Not
Yeah,
just
so
to
she's-
summon, but to control.
So she's got a migraine, and she's kind of keeping an eye out for a room that might work for KTP.
Find one. There's a green
next
room
day?
like behind stage. That has like a faded gold star and a name of a star that you
I want to
that
find
has
an
not
authorized.
that you can barely read.
I want to find an authorized personnel only sign.
Here's the question though. Has Nico finally learned to read?
Yes, she has.
Okay, so yeah, you find an authorized personnel sign.
She
that
rips
you
it
can
off, puts it on top of the star, and
Yep.
the star, and then she goes finds everybody else.
put- Okay. What was your role to check on Siobhan?
4.
4. You basically do a search on her, basically her image, because Siobhan's are, there's a whole lot, and you don't really have her surname, but you with her
Would
face.
her comms details not narrow her down?
No, because this is likely a burner. But you do find a SIN card that matches the face. And it is a SIN card for someone called Lorraine Williams, former Royal Air Force, left the military, worked at a PMC, and she seems to be wanted in at least 7 countries. Or what can only be described as, I will put it mildly as murder. Well, you can see from what little you get from her RAF record, because that would require a far greater roll to get the full details. This is a very dangerous woman.
Okay. All right. So yeah, if kind of everyone's getting back into the group and Nico's going to share
But it tell you that you get an idea. If this one wanted to kill Jericho, Jericho would be dead. Especially given the proximity.
doesn't mean she's not biding her time.
I mean, sure, she can be wearing a mask and being a Scooby villain for all you know, but just on logic alone, you think that if she wanted Jericho gone, and given the fact that she is very close to her at any time, there's a good chance Jericho would be dead already. Anything else?
Is it worth looking at this nerve gas system?
Yeah, there are some. You find it's just the little openings where the nerve gas is going to be pumped through.
I mean, there's pipes, right?
Yeah.
So
in the system that KDP has, you can see that the pipes lead to like a tank. The tank is also under the floor.
right.
Is it not just going to be safest to brick everything, make it
What?
look like it's not bricked, and then set up an alert so we're notified when someone
To be
tries
fair,
to set it up?
you can brick it, set up the disguise, and even plant that data bomb if you like.
Can we physically access the vents where it's going to come out?
They're just
Oh.
teeny tiny holes in the floor.
Can we just
Oh.
plug them with like chewing gum?
I know that's exactly what I
Like,
was
basically
thinking.
something
There
that won't
is,
be
there
registered
is,
by
there
electronics.
is. I will tell you straight up, you're not gonna make a roll. You can do it, but there is the factor where if the pressure has nowhere to go, and then you still have gas leaking through the floor,
Can we physically access the tank?
you would need to break. This is the part where you know this was premeditated, because you
Okay.
would need to break through the floor and repair it to get to that tank.
Okay.
So this was set up well in advance.
Yeah, we don't really have time for that, do we?
Yeah,
right now?
no. Okay. What was the thought?
But the mechanisms to control the flow are hooked to this, are Wi-Fi enabled and hooked to this system.
Okay.
Those
be
you can
honest,
brick.
I'm gonna be honest. We're going to kind of to planning. My brain is shutting down, so I'm
Yeah.
frazzed.
But Nico will pass on about the spells that she found. And yeah, I got rid of them. And KTP, I found a room for you and I put an authorized personnel only sign on it. So you can just kind of hang out in there tomorrow night.
That's a KTP kind of puts her arm around Nico and gives her a little hug. But, gesture of thanks.
You can tell she's got a headache. You've seen this before. She looks like she needs a nap.
What's the play? TikTok.
Brick it,
Um,
mask
just
it, bomb it.
break.
Right. So we're all agreeing on bricking it. I will mask it regardless.
Oh God!
What do we do?
I have an even more terrible idea.
Go on. We like terrible ideas.
Is there any way you can just monitor it, and then as soon as a command is sent, intercept it and prevent it from going off?
No guarantee that it'll I'll be
That'll be
make that
that'll
roll.
be a straight competition with the Decker.
Yeah. And if I don't, then Jericho gets it.
Or I will give you straight up the record. Jericho is very good at what they do. Jericho only has 5 condition monitor boxes. So Jericho is what we call a squishy
Squishy.
target.
Yeah.
Brick it, tell Jericho what we found.
Yeah, brick it.
Let
And-
Jericho take it apart.
I'm sure Jericho has people who are just as capable.
Jericho's just as capable.
So am I bricking it and masking it or just bricking it? Because
Brick
if we
it.
don't mask it, it's going to let the other people know.
Again, and I will tell you, this is security is your responsibility, not
Yep.
Jericho's.
This
You've
is
been
true.
hired for security.
Yeah.
Brick it, mask it.
Are we going to data bomb it or not?
Yes.
We're gonna solve it with a single roll for each, because
Mm.
otherwise it's gonna be
All right,
like
let's-
12 different data spikes.
So
Right.
start with bricking it.
Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
think about the data bomb thing. Let's get the bricking and the masking.
I'm gonna be straight with
Okay.
you. You need to maximize the number of successes you can get with both the bricking and the maxing and the masking. For the
Okay.
data bomb, you can just roll whatever, but you need
How
to
much
deal as
edge-
much damage as you can to brick something.
I
These
can
things
give you-
have as many condition monitors as their device rating, and the device rating for the highest one is 8,
Right, okay.
which is the wired explosives.
And what am I rolling?
Let's look at the roll for data spike.
I've got it. Oh, yeah, I've got it here. Hang on.
I can only donate edge once for you. So it's
I
there,
see it.
whatever you want to do.
Right.
I can give you 2 edge.
Okay.
And there's still a +3 left.
I spent it.
Right,
Right.
you spent it. So, well, if
Okay,
anyone
so-
who is watching wants to help, now will be the time.
So the most important thing is going to be bricking it, right?
Yes,
So
that is
that's
your
kind of where
primary
we wanna-
objective. Then masking will be another role that
Right. So
you
I've
want
got
high
11.
successes on.
I've got 11 dice. I've got 4 edge in total.
Just yours or taking from everyone else?
No, that's just mine.
Okay.
Hang on. Where's
And you presumably you could do the 4 edge action yourself, and then if anyone wanted to donate edge, you could get there again as well.
I think my suggestion is going to be use your own edge for the first roll, and then we can donate what we've got left, and you can do another explosion for the second roll.
Okay. Is everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Plus you get to add your dice pool to the number of dice you're rolling, so that helps.
Yeah,
That's what we did.
let's do this.
Ready?
Let's
you
let's
add the
min-max this.
That-
That's not 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
I hope I don't fuck this up.
Let's see.
Yeah. Exploding dice.
Mhm.
Keep going.
So there was 3 6s there.
Hold on, wait. How many hits are we
So
getting?
we've got 4 so far.
Even with the dice at the beginning? You had 3.
Oh,
Sorry.
4 so far.
That counting the ones at the beginning,
Yeah.
plus that one there.
Yeah.
And
It's not.
and the 5
No, it's-
still are
sorry.
also
Yeah,
successful.
fives are hits too.
Because there was 6s and 5s in that first roll.
Yeah. 2 5s and 3 6s.
Yeah.
So that's 5 hits.
Again, and you got another 6. That's another hit.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I'm staying out of it.
Okay.
So 5.
It's not. The cat's counting.
Around 6 at the moment.
7 then. All right then. 7.
7 hits, even with all the
Yeah.
rerolls.
That was using on my edge.
Take the +3. We need 8.
There is no +3. There is no.
No,
more
that's right. There
bonus.
isn't a +3.
Oh, right, it's been used.
Again, if anyone has
A
a
channel point.
channel point they wish to use, now would be the moment to do so. Going in 10, 9.
Can I just donate 1
Eight,
edge for a
no.
reroll?
I mean, sure. If you want, I'll allow it.
Do we have enough on everyone else that we can still do the +4 effect on the second roll?
I can only donate once. I've already used most of my edge.
I can donate 2 in total.
I think I can donate 2 in total.
So
Okay. I will. Yeah.
Take mine to do a reroll.
Okay. And then make it a good one.
Yeah. Let Zelda roll it.
Zelda roll it. Okay. Let's see.
Oh.
There was a reroll.
It was a 6.
That's a 6. Well, reroll it. That explodes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
let's
yeah.
go again.
Okay. Nah.
I love how
You-
every time we do the exploding dice, we forget to explode
You
them.
don't know what KTP is doing. Because, she's in the whammy, as we say. But immediately you hear that telltale sign of like mechanical failure from the entire place. You even see like the little holes where you found for the nerve gas, they all close. Hey, that's 1. That is bricking. You have bricked the entire thing. They would literally need to go and make repair checks on every piece of equipment.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay,
So what do we need to do the
The
masking?
mask, well, let's do the same roll that you would make for like a Matrix stealth check.
Okay, let me just try and find it.
You get 2 edge from me here, and I think Pete, you said you were donating 2 as well.
Yeah, I can donate 2. Yeah.
Right. That's that.
12. And we're doing another.
Are we doing another? We're doing another exploding thingy.
60s thing. So you
Is that
want
right?
4,
So
4
yeah.
extra.
right. Okay.
Yeah, it's a high check, so it's cracking an intuition.
Let me just check that. Hang on.
Yeah, it's on their hide.
So you need to take one of those dice away.
By the way, you rolled 8. Okay, in total, your Overwatch score is now at 10.
Thanks.
Right, ready?
Yeah. Okay, no, this is quite good.
2.
Mm.
So we got 4 5s.
That's how many
And
is
4
that altogether?
6s.
So right now we've got 8.
Okay, 8. Okay.
So I can re-roll them ones, right?
Yes.
Right. So we had 8. So let me put them down there to make
We've got
8.
2
right?
more hits, and one of those was a 6. We've got one more to roll. No.
That is 10 hits. That is what the Decker will need to roll to realize that these things have been bricked.
That's not too sad.
That's pretty fucking good.
Okay.
If they try to use them, nothing will work. Which likely will send them to try to figure out what's going on with each thing, and that's wasted time. Now, data bomb.
What's the Overwatch score now?
Oh, what score for
Okay.
this one? For the high, you've rolled 10. I am just gonna actually not gonna increase it because the host is not reacting to this.
Okay. Right. So final call, guys. Do we want to do the data bomb?
I think if we do that, we'd be pushing our luck a bit too far out.
Yeah, just set it up so that you can monitor it tomorrow if somebody tries to access it.
Yeah. Is there a way to set something so if someone does try to access it, it will send an alert to the group?
Sure. Let's have you make a snoop roll. So
Okay.
cracking and logic.
Hold on one.
This will be on this one. I will roll for the host because essentially opening like a back door to send telemetry to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because normally the back door you create to entry lasts for about like 10 minutes. This is more to have an open channel to let you know what's going on. So
Okay.
snoop roll.
Going. That is, it's at 7.
Yeah, 7.
Just roll 3. Your watch score goes up by 3, so you're at 13 now. But yeah, you have basically whatever happens here, you'll get that feed.
Okay, so that's set up to go to all of it.
You with 7 hits, like 4 over the roll I made, sure, whatever you want.
Okay, so everyone will get an alert if someone tries to access this stuff, and if everyone has got the blueprints, KTP will mark on those blueprints where the things are physically in the real world. Everyone's aware. So other than that, I'll do an erase signature and then get out.
No data bomb?
Nah.
Okay. Roll your erase signature. Because of the nature of all the things you've done in here, I want to put the difficulty for this at 4 to fully
Okay.
erase your signature.
This is where it all goes to shit for us.
Oh,
There we
Signature
go.
thank God for that
erased.
reroll.
Signature erased, and you leave and close the door behind you, and you're gone. Do you all leave the premises? And as you slink away,
The last thing
Yep.
I will do,
Sure.
I want to take. I'm gonna take.
you're gonna take on me.
Listen, that's a good song. Both the original and the acoustic version. Which, if you've not heard the acoustic, anyway,
We're way over time, so
I know.
move
The
it.
point is, the 3 micro drones that have a camera, those are being left behind, covering like one essentially having a similar view to the turret, just kind of from the stage covering the main everything, and then covering the other two angles also from the top down,
Okay.
just to keep an eye on. They
Things.
unfortunately don't have motion trackers, but one of them does have an omnidirectional mic. So basically, I'm setting that to ping me if any sort of noise above a certain decibel level happens.
That's fine. You leave them there, and then as you all slink back into darkness and drive away, that's where we're going to end our session. This time, I'm not giving any of you karma. I'm waiting until you're done with the mission to package it all in as the full rewards, so to speak. Like you're right now in the middle of the quest. You're going to get your XP at the end of the quest.
Fair. It's fair.
And I think that's it for us. Hope everyone enjoyed. Next time, things are going to get heavy, and there's going to be plenty more of Jericho Dolce Ricotta to go around. Before we go, we'll just quickly go around the room and tell you who they are, that we're playing, and where you can find in the dark corners of the internet. So, Kim.
Yes, I'm
Because
Kim.
we know Pete is an international man of mystery and doesn't use social media.
You're pretty much summed it up. Yeah, I'm Kim. I played KTP, Technomancer, who has hopefully done some stuff that's going to benefit us next time. And you can find me online at later levels.
And I think I've summed you up, Pete.
Yeah, but I'm Pete and I play Grifter. There we go.
Cool. Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat, or at Cleric of Cord. I'm slowly starting to dip my toes back into my social media, but mostly I'm working in Discord servers right now. And you can find me starting on the 28th, which is a Wednesday, at Valdrian's channel at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern,
11 here.
11 p.m. UK time,
Yep.
I believe. And for a Monster of the Week campaign that is starting up, I'm really excited. I'm playing a monstrous playbook. It's powered by the apocalypse. It's going to be really, really fun. So 28th, if you're looking for something to do. And otherwise, you can find me here on Thursdays, except next Thursday, because we won't be here.
Yeah. So it's going to be 2 weeks before the return of Jericho.
Oh boy.
And
We need that time to digest.
Yeah, Diane.
Yeah, hi, I'm Dan. I can be found here because this is fantastic. And I can be found over on my own stream where this Sunday we will be closing out the first arc of the Brinkwood sessions. I called it Tales from the Brinkwood because I wasn't sure where it's going to go, but basically we're going to be closing out the first season, so to speak, and it's going to be an interesting time of seeing just how badly the brigands disrupt a coronation. So that's going to be fun. And yes, that was planned long before current world events happened. So coincidence, it's fun. We'll certainly not read anything too. There's certainly nothing political about a narrative in which we're seeking to brand as a traitor the person putting on a crown they don't deserve.
Let's not get into such topics.
Yeah, let's not. But that's that. And then when I'm not streaming incredibly heavy-handed capitalism metaphors, I do fishing simulators these days. So yeah, that's two sides of that coin.
On my end, the only thing I say is tomorrow we'll have a brand new episode of our Peanuts. We're soon to be heading into a new world. And there are different options for what the world will be, and we'll find out which one it is tomorrow. And then on Sunday is our D&D campaign, where, it'll be, instead of interview with a vampire, it's going to be interview with Asmodeus. But that'll be fun. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for watching. We hope you had a good time. We will see you next time. Bye.